So go live on here. You guys ready? Let's let them in.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's rock and roll.
Let me get this going.
There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome no other than NFL vet and Georgia Tech alumni, Mr. TJ Barnes. How are you doing tonight? Disconnecting audio.
Disconnecting audio real quick.
Connecting.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
got you.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Good. How are you, man?
Glad to have
Good,
you.
good. Thank you for having me.
Of
Of
course,
course,
man.
thanks for coming on. We really
Thanks for
appreciate your
coming
time.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mercer, you want to fire off this interview? I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, since I hit you up and stuff, why don't we start at the beginning, how you got into football and high school and then eventually into college, and we'll go from there.
How I got into football is kind of crazy because I'm a third generation athlete. My dad went to Auburn to play football. My cousins went to Auburn to play football. Fred Baxter, who played with the Jets. And I was kind of supposed to go along that line. And I was more like the I guess geek or nerd or however you want to call it. I played video games all day, was studying computers and things of that nature, and did not have like an interest to play sports at all. And so I've always been like tall and big and stuff. So like Pop Warner was never really like in the picture for me because it'd be against the rules or whatever. And so like I was always thankful for that. And I got to ninth grade, so it was like, all right, cool. There's really no weight limit to play football or sports or anything. So my dad really wanted me to go out and play, and still didn't have any interest to do so. And then so I told my dad that I was going out to play football, and I was actually en route to make the golf team. And so I made the golf team and whatever, and like all my friends were like, thought it was kind of weird, like why is he going out to play football? Like you're so humongous, I'd be natural athletic, but I did not like getting hit or anything like that. So football was just not it for me. And then and being my dad's like a braggadocious type of guy or whatever. So like he's super hyped that his son is like, I told him I made the team play football, but I didn't think like he was going to come to like my practices or anything like that, because my school was about a good 30 minutes away from my house. So, and he had to work all day. So I didn't think that he'd come from work, drive that 30 minutes just to go see me practice. And he did. And he was like, he came out to see me practice, and I wasn't out there at all. And so he was kind of worried. He was worried, like, where's my son? And he just wanted to talk to the head coach. And he's like, yeah, we talked to TJ, and he didn't want to come out and stuff. He actually made the golf team, and he was like livid. And so I got home that night, and my dad's sitting there waiting for me, and he's like, let me see your practice jersey. I got to wash it, things of that nature. I was like, I left it in my locker. Da, 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 da. He was like, oh, we can go get it. I don't want you catching staff. Me, never having played sports or whatever, didn't know what staff was. So I was like, oh, no, it's all good. Forget staff, it's whatever. And it was like, nah, it's a serious type of thing, so we need to go get your jersey. And halfway on my ride to the school, I came out clean and told him that I didn't go out there and try it out or whatever. I'm actually on the golf team. It's like, just try football for a little bit, see if you like it. If you don't, you don't have to play next year, and you go back out and play golf. And so I did it. I stuck with it. And so and I stayed with it to keep my dad off my back. And I didn't start liking football until I moved from Daytona Beach to Enterprise, Alabama, and they had like a really good high school football team. And that's when I started to, all right, cool, I can possibly do this, like get myself to college with this. So that's the story how I got into football.
That's pretty wild.
So how many, obviously you played in high school, how many offers did you have? Because obviously I know you went to Georgia Tech. Like, was that your first choice, or like what other schools did you look at?
Georgia Tech was not on my list to go to, actually. I had Auburn, Alabama, Clemson, Troy. This, like, any school that I wanted to go to play offensive line, I could have went. And I remember I was going to go to Alabama, but I got my ACT scoring late, and Kirby Smart had called me. He was like, "Yeah, we just got a commit from Courtney Upshaw," and I was like, "Damn." But then after that, my ACT course came in like 2 days after that. So Courtney stole my scholarship. But after that, it was really just trying to figure out where did I want to go to school. And my older brother chose to go to Florida State, and Georgia Tech was the only school that played Florida State. And I didn't really have like a relationship with him, so this was the opportunity to actually build that. And that's the only reason why I went to Georgia Tech. If it wasn't for that, then I probably would have went to Auburn or some other school or whatever. But
so I want to know like what the reaction was like. You had lots of family that your third generation athlete that both went to Auburn, and then you and your brother, you guys went to Florida State and Georgia Tech. What was that like? Kind of dividing amongst the family. Like, were they expecting you to go to Auburn, or?
My dad was expecting me to go to Auburn, and then he about had a heart attack when I told him that I was thinking about Alabama, and I could see a sigh of relief when I told him that Alabama pulled. They just want to gray shirt me now, and it's like, so what you gonna do, son? And then we talked about it, and he was cool with me going to Georgia Tech because it wasn't too far away or anything like that, and I wasn't going to like a rival of Auburn, so it wasn't like how you see some of these recruits, how their parents just get so upset about them choosing a school that they don't want to go to or whatever. Like, my parents were like really supportive of whatever school I chose to go to. So like it would have stung a little bit if I would have gone to Alabama or whatever, but he would have got over it. So.
Now, was that process from high school to college, is that easy for you, or was that a little bit tricky to get used to the college system or learning a new playbook, or was that?
It was tough from the far, like I was just raw as far as like I was just using like all my athletic ability to make plays in high school. I didn't really have like really good technique, and even when I got to college, it was like the game was really never that fast for me from high school to college, from college to pros. It was just I had to get better with my technique and just learn the different playbooks and stuff. I had 4 different defensive coordinators throughout my tenure at Georgia Tech, so it was like basically a new playbook every year. And so and just going up against the caliber of athlete every day, like who was in high school, I would find somebody who was like decent at one position, but in college it'll be 3, like the center, the guard be good, or the half of the line would be good. They'll have like a really good player who's supposed to be like the first round draft pick in the upcoming draft or whatever. So it was really tough preparing myself for that. But the speed of the game was really that bad. It was just really learning like different offenses and stuff that you had to go against, because in high school people ran triple option, or you'll see a traditional offense or whatever. But when I got to Georgia Tech, I'm looking at Clemson. They got like running the spread, or all these different type of offensive stuff I've never seen before. So that it was tough getting used to that. But once I got acclimated, it became easy.
So obviously in college you played a lot like higher caliber athletes. Like, who are some of those guys you remember playing like in your first year at Georgia Tech, like against?
My first year, we can go from like Ryan Williams, running back for Virginia Tech, Tyrod Taylor, Clemson had C.J. Spillett, James Davis. Who else? Miami was loaded with talent. I can't even think of their names, which is crazy because I'm a huge Miami fan. Florida State. Who did they have? Ponder, who was drafted by the Vikings the following year. E.J. Emanuel. Who else they had? Just tons of talent everywhere. I was just not used to just like everybody just being good and stuff, and which made me a lot better. Even like on our own team, we had Vance Walker, Derek Richards, Morgan Burnett, just tons of talent everywhere. So who else did I go to? I guess my freshman year, Luke Kuechly. Like I was runner-up for a freshman defensive player, ACC defensive player, and he won it. Who else was just really good my redshirt freshman year? it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. No Sean Marino, Ben Jones, just it was a lot of talent my freshman year that I was just going against. It was like after my freshman year, I was like, cool, I can actually play. Well, it wasn't until actually it was my junior year that I was like, I can actually go to the NFL and do this. But after my first year, I can actually be good in college football. So,
Was there certain like a wake up call, like one moment you remember and you're like, dang, I gotta like learn how to do a better technique or just like, you know?
it had to be in 2009. Us going against UGA. It was my first time going against them, and my mom in the stands first game she's ever seen me play, because when she came to see me play in high school, I was hurt. So yeah, first game she ever seen me play, so I was balling out, and then came out in the second. Before we came out in the second half, our defense coordinator was giving us like a big speech about we can't give up the run, can't do this, can't do that, we'll get back in this game. So get back out. UJ gets the ball, or whatever. I'm out. They run like a counter play, and Cordy Glenn puts me on my ass. And it was like my welcome to college football moment. And because Ben Jones, he went down, and I knew it was coming because they had been running this play like all game, and it smacked. I tried to stop it or whatever, but it was nothing I could really do. He just puts me on my ass, and I can hear him screaming in my ear and stuff. Whatever, but he's like, we're cool now because we played in Buffalo together. But he'll let me know about it like all the time. But yeah, that was like my welcome to college football moment. Like, yeah, I got to get better after this, and then I get to the sideline and my line coach is like, let me have it. So like we just talked about this. So
now, was there a moment to where you knew that, like, as that one was kind of like a humbling one, was there a moment where like you knew that you could continue doing this to the next level, like, or that you were really good at this game?
We played Clemson in 2011. Yeah, and up to that point, I was really just trying to just get by, as far as like I'm gonna be good enough so I can just not get cut in college or whatever, not get my scholarship pulled, or have like me not go play because I need to graduate. But it was Clemson was like number 5 or number 3, whatever, top ranked, whatever, Saturday night game, and it was just different, and I was just acting different. I had never played like this before. Everything. It felt like my spidey sense was like just tingling the whole game. Everything was just so slow. I was just in the zone. I could tell what they're about to run. Like there was a play on the goal line. They run like a little power play, so I knew what was about to happen. Made a TFL, got a sack on Taj Boyd. I was just so in the zone, like I can do this. And then we won. So they stormed the field and stuff. I remember going to the frats that night, and they were just chanting MVP. I was like, they talking to me, and then it was like everybody just surrounding me and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I can definitely do this on the next level.
So about college, you had some, lots of teammates there. You spend some time with these guys, and then you break loose from them to go, into your future endeavors. You actually got the likes to play with DT, Demarius Thomas, Darren Waller, and Shaq Mason. What were some other relationships that you had with some of those guys in college and all of that stuff?
I can tell a quick story about Shaq Mason. Right. It's crazy because my senior year was his sophomore year, so he had played his freshman year, and so we would go back at it all the time. It was hard to go against him because he's so short and I'm tall and long, so that's like a bad matchup for me. And so what was it? So it was like training camp or whatever, and we're on the goal line and stuff, and they ran like a little dive play up the middle, and that's what I'm a defensive tackle, so I'm right there, and I blessed them. I knocked them back or whatever, and so they ran the same type of play the following play, and he got me back, and I was like, I was laughing, just because like, all right, cool, he's definitely going to be a pro. He's definitely going to get to the next level. But other than that, like I've made friends like former teammates like Brandon Watts, who was drafted in the 6th round, played with the Vikings and the Dolphins, and we played together in the AAF. Just tons of the same guys that I roomed with. Like everybody, like my D-line mates that I've been cool with and stuff, but and it's crazy that the pandemic had made me, myself, Brandon Watts, I have another teammate, O'Neal Kibi, and just a couple other guys. Just it's kind of crazy because we got cool through Madden, and because we just yeah, I got this friend wants to play. That ain't got in like a big group chat, and now we're like all really cool and stuff. But other than that, like usually like when teammates you leave it from Georgia Tech or wherever you go, well, I can't really say wherever you go because I see like other different places like they're really close knit. But at Georgia Tech, we just had like our own little groups and stuff that we clicked with. And of course, we're all teammates and stuff. But it's like anything like at work, you might have like your own little group or this one coworker that you're really cool with that you can be cool outside of work. So, and that's how it was at Georgia Tech.
And of course, I think the first team you were on in the NFL was the Jaguars, correct?
Yes.
So take me through that, like, how you got on the team.
I'd like to know, because, like, you were undrafted and also, like, that must have been a little bit of, like, a kind of damn. But when you got that call from Jaguars, it must have been pretty cool that, you're going to an NFL team.
Man, it was so disappointing that I didn't get drafted because I went to the combine. I had a really good senior year. I was one of the top-rated defensive tackles to come out and stuff. And then the Houston Texans had called me around like the third or fourth round saying they were going to pick me. And they did it, and they ended up picking Chris Jones, who was drafted to them and then ended up playing with not the Giants, but the Patriots. Won a couple of Super Bowls and stuff, but not getting the call was like super disappointing. And then when I did get a call from Jacksonville, it was Jacksonville, Kansas City, and the Giants, and a couple other teams and stuff. And I chose Jacksonville because it was just like it's closer. I don't have to go too far or whatever, and they don't have like a lot of a veteran presence and stuff. And then when I got there, it was really just I was like still on like a little bit of a high horse because I'm like, I was a preferred undrafted free agent and stuff, and I was feeling myself a lot. And when I got there, it was eye-opening because like these are like everybody's good, everyone's good, from like the guys who are like borderline to like the guys who are starters. Everyone is good. It's just more about getting the opportunity to play and showcase your talent. And so every day was like a dog fight. It was, and there was like no easy days and stuff. I didn't really have like I did like a welcome to the NFL moment. Well, I did, and that happened in the preseason game where I was just not in the best of shape or whatever. Because again, I was just really feeling myself because I'm like, all right, it's just like college. I can come in and dominate this. And then I got put on my ass. I was like, all right, cool, never again. And so after I got cut like a week later, but after that, I was always in shape. So I could always not I wouldn't get as tired during games and stuff. But yeah, Jacksonville, it was cool, but I was not in the right headspace to be the player that I was on all the other teams that I played for. So
after Jacksonville, you got to go to New York Jets, and how was that? And as on your TikTok, so you got to see some interesting things go down there.
Like playing with the Jets was like so much fun. It's one of like the best places I've been. Like from like the team, everybody was really cool. Like my D line mates was really cool. Damon Harrison, Quentin Coples, Jay Duzable, Stephen Bowen, just like everybody was really cool. And it felt like I think my second year we went on like a 7 or 8 game losing streak, and it did not feel like it walked into the building. Rex was always like upbeat and happy. Like of course, like you're disappointed because like you haven't won the game in a while, but I always kept the vibe going. Like and Rex was the guy that I always wanted to play for, so it was like I can't really beat this. So I'm in a good system where I can showcase my talents and stuff. I'm behind good people, so it's not like I'm just like riding the pine or whatever for a reason. Like these guys like all pros or whatever, so it's like all right, cool. I can still learn from these guys and stuff, and just like from the little bit of notoriety that I got from making plays and stuff, and I'll go out to parties and meet different people. Like I got to go to different red carpets and stuff. And this is all new to me. I'm from a small town in Alabama, and being on the red carpet and stuff, I'm like, oh snap, they'll go such and such, such. I got a chance to go meet 50 Cent, got cool with him. Different type of parties, and just like there's nothing being in the Mecca at all. So I really did enjoy my time with the Jets, and I was hurt when I had to go to Buffalo and I couldn't go back to New York and stuff. So
Josh, I'd like to let you ask the question of this one.
No. So, on the topic of like Rex Ryan, was there any like specific stories with Rex and you personally that were, really like heartwarming, or like where he was kicking your ass and helping you, or was there anything specific that really showed how good of a coach Rex really was?
Yeah, and it's funny because like I told a story on TikTok about him just like letting me know like, hey, you need to make some plays today or you're gonna have to get cut when we went to play Buffalo in Detroit. But I can use a different story. He was like, because after that game we were going to play Miami, and so I was gonna have to play a lot, and we were running they were running a scout team, and I was on defense and stuff, and they were telling me you're going to play the 5 technique, and now what they do is come down and block out with the tight end and stuff, so we don't need you to run upfield. And he was Barnes, we really need you to play this correct or whatever. And I remember, what was it? It was that Wednesday, and I had been out partying, having fun, and I came in late, fell asleep in meetings and stuff, and so that was on my ass about it. And so we get to practice, and they ran that play, and I was able to do what I was supposed to do because they had drilled it in my head, and he was just put a big emphasis on it and stuff, and was able to go out again in that game and ball out. But I really didn't have like a lot of good Rex stories because, like I said, like on my TikToks, I was just always in awe because this is the guy that I always wanted to play for. So when it was like when I was around him, it was always like a golly gee moment type of thing. So or I was like didn't really know what to say when he was like asking me questions and stuff or whatever, which got me in a little bit of trouble because they'll ask me like what I'm supposed to do on this play, and I'm just in like golly gee moment, I guess. So.
Josh, you want to go on that one?
Which one?
I want to let you talk about the Jets because you're the Jets fan. So
yeah, Jets is a.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I just wanted to know about Rex and just like the culture down there. How was like obviously you said the culture down there was really nice, and you enjoyed your time on the Jets, which I feel like not a lot of Jets players have said before, which is good to know for me at least as a Jets fan. But let me think of a good question while we're on the Jets. That's not really.
Well, so why are you thinking of a question? But everything that you see, like with Rex on TV now, is the same way that he's in with the locker room. Just an upbeat person. Like he curses. Like, and I just love the fact that he talks shit to like other teams and other players and things of that nature, which like just helped us as like a unit. Like, oh, we got to back this up. It's like sometimes we got burned, but like more than less, it was like always a good thing for us. So.
Now, how often was Rex really on his players? So, how often does like an NFL head coach, and this isn't just Rex Ryan, this could, how often does a head coach focus on his, his star players and his, his depth players? Like, what's the difference between kind of how he treats both players? Is he generally open to everyone? Does he single people? Do coaches usually single people out? Do they, is it different for every coach? So how does that work?
From like whether it's Rex or when I was with Andy Reid or whatever, it's always everyone's really just treated much the same. You do have your hierarchy. You have like your star players, and you have like your depth guys, and you have guys who are like borderline or whatever. And like the top guys can get away with more. So I remember guys falling asleep in meetings or showing up late. Like I remember when I was with the Chiefs, Travis Kelce had one player of the game. And so you give out football as player of the game. They gave one to Reed, a couple other guys, and he called for Trav, and Trav wasn't there. And so we're all looking around like, what the hell Trav at? And so like, and you can see it on Big Red's face. He's like, red, just as red as my hoodie. And normally when a guy is late or whatever, you get fined or you get cut and stuff, and he got a good talking to and basically like a slap on the wrist, and went on his way. But if someone like myself who was like a depth guy or a depth guy would have probably just got a heavy team fine and been that. If a guy was like borderline or whatever, then he would have definitely got cut. So or practice squad. So
Yeah, that's interesting. So, segueing from your Jets career, your next stint in the NFL was with the Buffalo Bills. So, how was it like up in there?
man, like the Bills fans like incredible. I remember when I got there, they didn't have me stay in Orchard Park. I had to stay somewhere else, and I get to my place and there's like a chalk line of a body outside my apartment. I'm like, what type of shit they got me staying at? But playing for the Bills is cool. I was playing for Rex again, which was fun, and just that whole reconnect was like really good. And that following year, they moved me to offense. Well, and it was kind of disappointing because like I thought I was like coming in to be like a really big defensive tackle. At least I thought. And so yeah, and that just became like a downhill for me because I didn't really want to play football anymore. I just didn't really want to be there and stuff. And then, but they told me if I wasn't good at it, I could switch back to defensive stuff, and which I did. And before they told me like you'll be back behind Marcel if you come back to defense, I was like, all right, cool, fine. I'll put my best foot forward playing offense, and I did. And when I came back, I was like 5th on the depth chart. I was like, kind of shit is this? But I'm like, all right, cool. I came back at the end of OTAs, into mini camp, so I can't really do much about that. But once we get to training camp, I should be back. And I wasn't, which was like even more upsetting because they went back on their word. But I'm like, I'm gonna go ball. This is still a tryout for 31 other teams and stuff. I might not make it here at Buffalo, so I'll still make it somewhere else. And what was it? The first preseason game, we played the Colts, and I think it was the Colts, yeah. And I hadn't played all game up till like the last. It was 58 seconds left on the clock, and my D-line coach was telling me to go in. I'm like, I'm not going in. I'm not about to hurt myself or anything like that. I basically been sitting on the sidelines all game, and he was trying to get me to go in, and I cussed him out, and they ended up cutting me the next day, and I signed to Jacksonville the following like 2 days later. But yeah, overall, my time in Buffalo was pretty good. Food was good. Fans were like awesome. I meet Bills fans like everywhere. Like there's a guy that I work with now. He's a Bills fan, and he invited me to like the little mafia they have like down here in Virginia and stuff. So, but yeah, like it was awesome.
After the second stint with the Jaguars you went to the team that you're repping the hoodie of right now, the Kansas City Chiefs. And as you mentioned, you got to be under Andy Reid. What was all of that like?
It was cool. Like I said before, like they wanted me to come out when I came out as an undrafted free agent. They wanted me to sign with them, but I chose to go somewhere else different. But it was cool. I came in on practice squad, so they wanted to see if I was in shape or not. And then they seen I could actually play. I got signed. I played. I think my first game was playing the Falcons and stuff. It was, and that was fun. The culture was cool. The city is cool. It's the second place where I felt as though, all right, cool, I can actually play here and retire here. Is because I have the same type of vibe as I did when I was with the Jets. So awesome team, awesome culture. I didn't like the management so much because the way they had released me was really shady because I'm thinking that I'm getting ready to sign an extension the following year because I played well, and so they bring me. They call me in. I'm thinking I'm getting ready to sign my contract. I'm thinking about everything I'm about to buy, and so I get up to the office. I'm not even hearing what the guy that I'm talking to has to say until he's like, "Yeah, we got to release you." I'm like, "What?" And it's like, "Yeah, we want more of a veteran presence in the D-line room and stuff." And I didn't understand it because I was a veteran already. And so I'm like, you know what? Instead of flipping this table over, shake his hand and go about my business and stuff. And I'm leaving, walking down the hallway, and I go to Britt Reed, Little Reed, Little Reed's office. He was the D-line coach at the time. I'm telling him, I'm getting ready to tell him that they released me and stuff. I'm thinking that he knows that. And before I can say anything, he was like, TJ, I know you've been getting like 17 reps for the past couple of days and stuff for OTAs, but we're going to get you in the first team rotation and stuff so you can play along Chris for a little bit so I can get like a little bit of a vibe. And before, I'm like, what? This must be some type of sick joke or whatever. And before I can open my mouth to say what's going on, the guy who cut me, he walks in like, gives like a little wave or whatever. And he's like, yeah, like a little whisper, like, yeah, we just cut TJ Barnes and stuff. And he walks out. He tries to shake my hand. And I was like, fuck, dude. And then I'm talking to Reed, and he's just like, he has like that awful look on his face, like I didn't even know or whatever. And it's like, it's all good. I understand things of that nature. But yeah, overall, everything was cool except for like my relationship with management. But Big Reed is cool. Playing for like it's one of the teams I wouldn't come out of retirement to play for them just because of that situation with them. But I still root for them and hope for them to do well.
That's crazy how they released you like that. I
Yeah.
don't know if a lot of teams do that or not, but
Yeah, like even with the Jets, I remember we were going. It was Rex's return to the Meadowlands. I'm getting ready because I had just played. I played double Demario Davis that night before in Madden. I beat him like for some money and stuff. So we played again, and I'm getting ready to go to the stadium. Just got out of team meeting and stuff. Todd Bowles gave like the speech and things of that nature, and I get a text from one of the guys in scouting, like, "Hey, TJ, can you come by real quick?" I was like, "Yeah, no problem. I'm on my way out the hotel anyway." So, he was like, "Yeah, sorry to do this, but we got to cut you." I'm like, "What?" Like, we about to go play in like 2 hours or whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, we need a DB or whatever." And I'm like, "Y'all stop playing with me, man." But yeah, he was like, "Yeah, we got to cut you for this DB." The Bills, they're really coming out like going to spread formation. That some bullshit I wasn't really listening to, and so I was like, "Yo, whatever," and I leave. And the guy they cut me for didn't even play a snap, and that's what made me more upset because I was so ready to play, and they did that like right before the game and stuff, and like, but yeah, coaches and stuff that do that. I remember somebody who played for the Patriots got cut before the Super Bowl and stuff. He got his family and stuff out there. So yeah, it's ruthless out here.
And you said that was Todd Bowles' decision, or was that management?
That was management. I feel like he knew about it, but the way they did it was kind of shady because they played on Thursday, and so I wouldn't go on waivers until Monday, so no team could really claim me or anything like that because they were all playing that weekend. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've been in the NFL, you played a couple of games. You mentioned Buffalo's fans were pretty wild, but what was just one stadium that you were at that was just, the crowd energy there was just insane,
Other than, it's a tie between, like, the Jets, Buffalo, and, who can I also say? Yeah, probably, like, Buffalo's probably, like, the biggest one, especially, like, when Buffalo's winning and the crowd is like going, like it's like it's loud. Everybody's into it. Like it's really just wow. Probably just from the because like other fans and stuff. Them jumping off of tables, them just doing all extra type of stuff. And I can also mention Kansas City because when I was with the Jets, we can't have to come to Kansas City and play. And man, the stadium was just like it felt like my ears were bleeding. That's how like loud they were, and just man, it was so crazy. I play for all these teams, but Jets when the Jets are good and like it's a really good game, and you hear like the Jets, Jets, like fireman, what was it, Fireman Freddie or Fireman Eddie?
Fireman Ed.
And like when he's in this, oh man, it's like there's nothing like it. Because I remember we played the Dolphins and it was all hyped up and stuff and had the crowd going and but yeah, like those three teams like are really good places to play.
So after your time with the Chiefs, you went to the AFL to play for the Atlanta Legends. What was that like? Segueing to a different league and all.
I actually went to the CFL for like a week before, and I didn't like the CFL because like the coach and just the style of play just wasn't really for me. Me being a no south, I'm used to everything just happening like really quick, and it was really like some distance between the contact between me and the center or me and the guard or whatever. So I ended up leaving that. But yeah, playing in the AF was like dope. It was a second stint of me just being able to play the game of football because after I got released from the Chiefs, I really didn't want to. Actually, when I got released, when I left the CFL, I didn't want to play football anymore. And then after working for a little bit and stuff, and was like, I still had the itch to play. And then everything with the AF had popped off and stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna go play, and I was able to ball out and get an opportunity to play with the Panthers and stuff. But it was fun, and it was like probably the most fun I've had playing football since high school. So it was like there was really like no politics in it. If you can play, you can play. If you can't, then you can't. Going to like the different places to play, and it was just really fun being a part of something new.
That's very cool.
Speaking of something new, I heard you're in the XFL rather. Like, take us through that. I know the season got cut short, but that was a really hot thing at the time. I was watching that.
Yeah, the XFL was just as fun, like same type of fun I was having in the AF, but it was kind of different as far as like some of the rules and how it was going about and stuff. Like the Guardians was like, it was fun because we were starting to figure out everything. We had finally got a quarterback. The guy we had sucked. He had like a little bit of I wouldn't say attitude problem, but it was just like his ego wasn't in check. And so we finally got a quarterback. Our defense was doing really well and stuff. And so we were really getting ready to take down the number one team, which was the Houston team, but everything got shut down. But it was fun. Still friends that I have now to this day that I still talk to. Because it was like everybody was like just really cool. It wasn't really like a me type of guy except for like a quarterback. But and everybody that could play, that played in the XFL can't play in the NFL. It was just like guys who didn't get the chances that they want or were on like their third strike or whatever the case may be. So,
And of course, go ahead, Josh.
Oh, sorry. Just like tangling up the XFL, how different is like game day for the XFL and the NFL? Are they kind of the same thing, or are they drastically different, or they're just minor differences? Like, how does game day work?
From what it was like, from NFL, CFL, AAF, XFL, it was all the same for the most part. The only little things that I didn't like about whether it was AAF or XFL, they were trying to have us like dress a certain way, and that was different for me because in the NFL you can dress how you want to on game day, and with the XFL or AAF they're trying to have us like dress up on like away games and stuff, which was like not really everybody's like thing or stitch or whatever. But for the most part, it's all the same.
Cool.
Of course, we've seen plenty of guys from the XFL, like Taylor Heineke, like get their second chances.
And then Philip Walker
in the
even
NFL.
coming up.
Philip Walker, yeah, or PJ.
PJ.
Yeah, that was really dope to see. PJ probably wouldn't have got that opportunity if he played us, but yeah, it was really good to see like PJ and Tyler and just like tons of guys from the XFL or the AAF. I remember our kicker from the AAF. He's the starting kicker for the Falcons. But seeing guys get another opportunity was just fun because it's like guys can't play. They just need just a little bit of opportunity and they can just run with it. So, and my bad, phone fell. but yeah, it's really good to see guys succeed, and I'm always happy to see guys from like the AAF or XFL hear their name called on Sundays and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's gotta be a good memory.
Mm-hmm.
So after the XFL, like, what was your deciding point? You were like, I think I want to do something different than football. Like, how did that go?
After being like cut when I was with the Chiefs, it was like, man, I probably have to do something else other than football. And then I was like, all right, cool, I'll stick it out. Then I had my first kid, and just watching her grow up through like FaceTime and stuff was not it for me. And I remember, I had talked about this on TikTok yesterday. Just like I remember getting a call on her first birthday, and they're asking from the Falcons asking me to come out and do a tryout, and it was breaking my heart leaving her first birthday to go try out. But I'm like, fuck it, whatever. And I get like halfway up there, the flowery branch where they were at, and they pulled my workout, and I was like, you know what, I probably have to figure out something else to do. And after that, I got stuck in limbo for a little bit, trying to figure out like what is TJ good at other than football. And I was taking like odd jobs and things of that nature, just trying to figure out, because I had never done anything else other than football. I worked at McDonald's for like a week or two, and I was like, man, I'm not going to sit here and just serve people burgers. I mean, I was in high school, but I was like, I'm going to play football. I barely showed up to work anyway, but yeah. And I remember I was working for this company called Carvana, just doing like customer service work, and I was really good at it because I'm really good with people. But I'm like, man, this doesn't really give me the same type of feeling that it was when I was playing football or whatever. And I remember I was sitting in my truck after a delivery, and I was just asking for a sign, like, what can I do other than this? And I'd never been on the tech side of TikTok before, and I'm just scrolling through or whatever, and I'm seeing all different type of jobs and stuff, and I came across like cybersecurity, coding, software development. And I was like, all right, cool, this is what I want to do. And I quit my job, and I've been studying for that. And I'm just now starting to get opportunities in like cybersecurity and IT and things of that nature. So, and I'm like, it gives me the same type of feeling I had when I was playing football. So I was like, this is what I want to do.
It's awesome.
It feels good to go back to that. You mentioned earlier, I said you're maybe the geek in the family. You wanted to go and you work with tech. You didn't really have the interest to work with sports, but being able to go back to tech after sports, that's got to feel really cool.
Exactly.
So yeah. Do we got anything else, guys, or?
No,
if we have anyone.
A little off topic, but obviously you played for both the Chiefs and the Bills. Like, who are you going to be rooting for in this playoffs?
Oh yeah, Bills all day, man. That's like I root for like, because I root for like Chris Jones to do well. All the guys that I played with who are still there to do well. But as far as like rooting for like the team, I'm going with the Bills because of how everything ended with me and the Chiefs, and it's not like I don't root for them like in other games and stuff. But yeah, I'm going with the Bills, even though there's not much of a sour taste with the Bills because it wasn't how they released me. It was more like how I was dealing with the coaches and things of that nature. So which led me to still root for the Bills and stuff. But how everything ended with me with the management of the Chiefs was like, all right, cool. I'll still root for you guys, but if a team pops up that I like, nah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good. TJ, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. And
thank
this
you
has
so
been
much.
a fun time. We enjoy watching your TikToks. The story about the Geno Smith one, that's just hilarious to me. I was watching that. Oh, that's just such a funny video.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I was sitting right there, and I thought it was like them just playing around or whatever because I didn't know the whole backstory of everything that was going on. And I'm sitting there just talking to my teammate Stephen Bowen about, I think we were talking about marriage or whatever. And it was like I said, there was like a couple more other guys over there. And I'm thinking they're just playing or whatnot, or just talking shit because we have been kicking their ass like all off season. And I look away for a second, and I look back, and it's like, I swear, it sounded like lightning hit his jaw. And then like everybody just started running over to break it up and stuff. But yeah, it's a misfortunate incident because it affected both parties in a way. Geno never really got a chance to really start after that. With the Jets, and IK, he got cut. And I mean, he went to the Bills and stuff, but he just had like a lot of negative press about him, which wasn't fair because it wasn't a cheap shot. Because like, oh yeah, people like to say, just because somebody put their face in your face doesn't dictate you from hitting somebody, and it doesn't. The thing is, though, everybody knows, like, if you put your hands in somebody's face or you poke them or whatever, to know that, all right, cool, a retaliation is coming. and Gino, I guess he thought, and this is my perspective, he felt as though since he's QB1, nobody's going to touch him, and he obviously learned it was going to be different. But yeah, like I said, it's a misfortunate incident that affected both parties, and I wish it could have been different, but Jets had like a lot of success after that, so maybe it was a blessing in disguise for them. So
It's pretty cool.
mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, thank you, TJ. Thanks again for coming on tonight, and good luck with your future stuff with IT security. That's really cool. You're getting back into the tech and all. That's really cool, and it's just thank you. It means a lot to us to come on here and take your time and tell stories and all. We love hearing about it. The viewers love hearing about it. It's fun to hear. So thank you.
Anytime you want to come back on, I'd definitely love to come back on and share some more stories and things of that nature. So
definitely, you. And guys, that's for tonight. Thank you all for joining in the TJ Barnes. We'll see you guys when we get back to you next time. All right.
All right.